All right, today we're going on a trip, a real trip. We're traveling back in time 100 million years to the mid-Cretaceous period. Get ready, because this is a world that is somehow both familiar and at the same time profoundly alien. Let's dive in.
100 million years. Just try to wrap your head around that number. It's so big it's almost meaningless. To put it into some kind of perspective, if you started walking and just never stopped for 100 million years, you could go from the Earth to the Sun and back over 5,000 times. We're talking about a scale of time that is just almost impossible to imagine.
So, let's do it. Let's imagine we're stepping into a time machine right now. You set the dial, the machine hums to life, and the world just blurs around you. When that door finally opens, you're on Earth, all right? But it's the Earth of 100 million years ago. So, what's the very first thing you'd notice?
Well, your first moments in this ancient world would be a complete shock to the senses. The air itself, the heat, the very ground beneath your feet, everything is different.
So first things first, can you even breathe? And the good news is, yeah, you can. Oxygen levels are pretty similar to today, but you'd feel a difference for sure. The air is thick, it's heavy with carbon dioxide, maybe up to 1,000 parts per million, and that is creating a powerful planet-wide greenhouse effect.
Now, if you pulled out a map, it would look like our world, but completely scrambled. North America might look kind of familiar, but India is a massive island just drifting north. And look at this, Australia is still fused to a green, forested Antarctica. The continents are literally on the move.
And that green Antarctica, that's the real key. See, with no major ice caps at the poles, all of that water is in the oceans. This means sea levels are just astonishingly high. We're talking maybe 200 meters higher than they are today. Huge parts of the continents we know, like the entire center of North America, are completely underwater, buried beneath these vast, shallow seas. And oh yeah, it is hot. I mean, really hot. The global average temperature might have been around 30 degrees Celsius, which is double our modern average. It's basically a sweltering, tropical planet from pole to pole. And, as if that wasn't enough, this was also an era of intense volcanic activity, so you'll definitely want to watch your step. Okay, so you've survived the environment. Good job. But now, it's time for the main event, the dinosaurs. You're probably expecting to see some pretty famous faces, right? Come on, let's be honest. You didn't travel 100 million years into the past to look at ferns. You came to see the icons. The mighty T-Rex, the noble Triceratops, and of course, the distinctive Stegosaurus. Can you imagine seeing them in the flesh?
Yeah, well, about that. You wouldn't see a single one of them. Nope, not one.
And this timeline shows you exactly why. The age of dinosaurs was just incredibly long. By the time we arrive, Stegosaurus is already a fossil. It's been extinct for 50 million years. And T-Rex and Triceratops, they won't even evolve for another 30 million years. You are standing in the vast empty gap between these famous creatures.
So, if the A-listers aren't here, who is? Well, get ready to meet the true and, you could argue, even more spectacular rulers of the mid-Cretaceous world.
In the role of top predator, you can forget T-Rex. I want you to meet Giganotosaurus and Carcharodontosaurus. These massive carnivores were every bit as terrifying. Carcharodontosaurus had teeth like a shark, and Giganotosaurus, well, it might have actually been even bigger than a T-Rex. And what were these things hunting? Well, creatures like Argentinosaurus. This was a sauropod, a relative of Brachiosaurus, and it was basically a walking mountain. It could stretch up to 35 meters long. Can you even imagine the ground shaking as a whole herd of these giants walks by? This was truly a land of Titan. But it wasn't just about being big, it was about being weird. This world was filled with the most bizarre evolutionary experiments. You'd see flying pterosaurs that acted like flamingos, you'd see giant crocodiles with jaws like a pelican, and you'd even see snakes that still had their hind legs, a truly strange and wonderful menagerie. But while all these giant animals are stealing the show, there's a much quieter, but actually far more important revolution happening right at your feet. So forget about grassy fields. Grass, as we know it, doesn't even exist yet. The ground is like a carpet of ferns and mosses, and the forests are mostly conifers. But if you look closely, tucked away in the ecosystem are the newcomers, the very first flowering plants. Right now, they're just a tiny fraction of the plant world. And this is where a really beautiful partnership begins. As these new flowers started to appear, new insects evolved right alongside them.
the first bees, the first butterflies. They discovered the nectar in the flowers, and in the process, they became these perfect little couriers, carrying pollen from plant to plant. It was a complete and total game changer.
And this right here, this shows you the result. Because of that amazing partnership that began right here in the Cretaceous, flowering plants went from being a minor player to absolute domination. Today, they make up 90% of all plant species on Earth. Every fruit you eat, every vegetable, every colorful garden owes its existence to this quiet revolution.
So you might be thinking, this is all fascinating, but why does this 100-million-year-old world matter to me today? Well, because in so many ways, we are still living in its shadow and we are still using its legacy. Believe it or not, our modern world is built on the Cretaceous. Those vast, shallow seas, they laid down all the organic matter that would eventually become about 60% of the world's oil reserves. The period is even named for its massive chalk deposits. Creta is just Latin for chalk. And of course, the ancestors of nearly all the plants we rely on got their big start right here.
So as you stand there, taking all of this in, just remember your place. In this world, you are the anomaly. Your ancestors, the mammals, are tiny, mouse-like creatures scurrying around in the undergrowth, living in the shadows of these giants, just trying to survive the day.
You are a very fragile visitor in their world, so my advice? Be careful. Don't make too much noise, and try not to draw too much attention to yourself, because you never, ever know what might be listening. Oh, wait a second. What's that sound? Right behind you.